Hi, I'm Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today I have Allison Bryant on my channel today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you, Allison?
I'm fine.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Fine. All right, now tell us a little about yourself.
My name is Allison, as you already announced. I'm the president and founder of Tilted Crowns. Tilted Crowns is a mentor program. I mentor young girls ages 8 to 18. I also have a for-profit called the Queen of Hearts Company. The Queen of Hearts Company, I'm a life coach. And I also do women's retreats. Even if you have like a girls' night out and you and some friends, you get together like 3 or 4 girls and y'all want to have someone over, I do releases, I do manifestations, prayer, and different things for women. I haven't gone into the male side of it yet, but my focus is on helping females. I'm an author, and my favorite title is I'm a mentor and most motivational speaker. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a mom of 3 and a grandma of 1, and that's pretty
Okay.
much it.
Okay, you didn't answer half of my questions here.
Wait, you that tell you about me?
That's okay. Okay, since you are with nonprofits, can you tell us what are some steps to start a nonprofit?
The first step that I always tell people is to know what you want to do, your demographic, and make out your mission and your vision. Without a vision, you pretty much just walking in the dark. I always say don't focus on the 501c3 part of it immediately.
Mhm.
Make sure that's what you want to do, because once you get into the paperwork and everything else, if that's not really what you want to do, then you spent money on, just on something that wasn't your main focus. But once you make your vision and your mission, then work in that sector for a while and make sure that's what you want to do, and try to meet people that have businesses sort of like the one you have, and follow their footsteps, or
Mhm.
not even their footsteps, but meet other people and see if that's really something you want to do. And then later on, if you decide, okay, this is what I want, then you do the paperwork to do your 501c3. But the main thing is have a mission and a vision, and know your demographic.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's talk about your book. Tell us
Yeah.
your book.
My book is, I got it here, The Nonprofit Legacy. This book is written by myself and 13 other authors, and it's about how to start a nonprofit. It's about why each and every one of us started our nonprofit, our why. I tell people all the time, our book is about our why and our how. Um, Even if you're not thinking of starting a nonprofit, I always suggest the book because it gives you ideas and it may make you want to start one. You can start a nonprofit for many reasons, and
Mhm.
it's weird because some of us, our stories are similar, but majority of us have different types of nonprofits and started it for different reasons and different ways. So I love how all of our stories are different, but we came together to make it a successful, book.
Okay. Now, what does success look like to you?
Oh wow. um, I say for me personally, and I mean this in both my businesses, to me, success is just knowing that I've changed the life of at least one female or one girl. In my nonprofit, I look at showing girls a different way, not without telling what my book is about. My story was um, trying to figure out life and how to heal. And for me, success is helping someone else cut off the 30 something years it took me to figure it out. So success for me is just knowing that I've changed the life of one person or prevented heartache and trauma for someone else by just my words.
Mhm.
So that success for me is helping someone else.
Okay. What's the best way you think it is to market your books?
Interviews and getting yourself out there. I think it's important for people to know. You can look at a cover and be like, oh, that's a pretty cover. But people are going to look at, well, me personally, I look at the first 5 pages, 3 pages, and the last two. And I'm like, okay, I wonder how they got to this ending, so I'm going to buy it. So
Mhm.
I always tell people, like, you look at the content, like the beginning, it usually tells their why, and where they're going is usually at the end, and it helps me to decide if I want to read someone's book or not.
Mhm. What was the hardest thing about writing this book?
Telling my story. I feel like I'm a very blunt and upfront person. So to tell my story to the world was a little difficult. People that know me personally know I'm a little rough around the edges, and I'm raw. I have no filter. Like even when they was editing the book, I wrote. She said, "Just write it the way you feel." I was like, "Okay," and I wrote it, and then they edited it, and she changed up my words a lot, and it was really cool. But the hardest part for me was telling my story because everybody, women are taught to act a certain type of way. We're taught
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
we're better seen and not heard sometimes. That's what we're taught.
Yes, yes.
But I'm that person. I'm seen, I'm heard, I'm everything. So the hardest part for me was to put my story out there and not worry about what people would say because my nonprofit came before the book. So my nonprofit is successful in, different arenas and a lot of people know about Tilted Crowns. So to be like, okay, well, I'm putting my nonprofit's business. This can harm my
Mhm.
business in all arenas. But it was just like the hardest part for me was also writing about my grandma, the loss of my grandma, because I got to that part of my chapter, and I just stopped. Every time I got to the point where she died, I stopped writing. I would cry, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And we have an accountability partner. The publishing company gave us an accountability partner. My accountability partner was on it. She was like, no, we're going to write through it. She said, right through the pain.
Mhm.
And that's what I did. And that was the hardest part for me. I'm so used to when something hurt, just back off of it. And
Okay.
she's like, no, right through it. So that was the hardest part, right through the pain.
Mhm. Were there any challenges getting this collab together with all these other authors?
The challenge was everybody's time is different. We had weekly meetings. Um, and it was rare that all 14 of us was on the call at the same time, especially me because I started a new job 2 weeks before we started. And
Mhm.
Thursdays when we met, I was at work. So sometime I'll be driving and I'll be, jump in and then jump back out. But that was the hardest part. Our personalities are different in a lot of ways. Some of the ladies in the book have nonprofits that are 20 years old. And I think
Oh
I'm the
wow.
mine's is only 4.
Mhm.
So it was weird. I learned a lot just listening because we had to do our author spotlight each week. So I learned a lot listening to the other authors about like their why and how they started and the things that I took for granted. Like when I got my first donation, I was like, oh, I'm excited. And someone else's first donation was lower than mine and they were extremely excited. So it was like learning to be humble and
Yep.
happy for the smallest things.
Mhm.
Cause I was
Mhm.
like, oh, my donation was this. And just to hear one of the ladies was saying that how they manifest things. One of the ladies was saying she wanted this building and she didn't have a dime. And she's like, God kept telling her to go to the building, walk around on the lot. And she did it. She said, and then when she got the building, it was like so unreal. You know what I mean? It was like so
Mhm.
surreal to her because she listened to what God told her to do. And
Mhm.
I'm one of them people, I gotta see it. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna get that. You know what I mean? So sometimes I talk
Mhm.
myself out of things. But the difference was everybody came together. The things that we have in common is our nonprofits and the fact that we love helping people. So that was the main focus of our book. Like everybody's chapter was about each of us helping each other and helping like people in the community as a whole.
Okay. Is there a way you could share a snippet of your story?
Oh gosh. A snippet. Let me see. I gotta look. Hold on. You mean in my chapter or my story
Yes.
here?
In
Okay.
your chapter. Mm-hmm.
So in the book, my chapter is called Creating a Royalty Mindset. Everything about me is about queendom something. That's why I loved
Mm-hmm.
the name. When I saw your name, I was like, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, hold on. It's this one part I love to tell people I didn't understand. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you what it's about first. This part is the loss of my grandmother. My grandmother was always in the church. My grandmother, my aunts, they used to make me go to church every Sunday, every Wednesday for Bible study. So it was about the death of my grandmother, and it was about me being angry with God. So my mom told me that my grandmother had passed away. I was in shock. And this is me yelling at God. I was like, wait, what? How? Why? Who did it? What about this God person that y'all claim answers prayers? Where the hell was he? So, yeah. So that part was about me being angry with God because y'all saying, ask, go to God in prayer when, when you're in pain and when you need things or whatever and to give thanks. And I was really angry. I was angry with God most of my teen years until my adult years. So that's the small part of the book I share. And when I became 42, maybe 43, I met someone that turned my life around. So you got to read the book to know the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. All right. What do you think was the best way to improve your writing skills?
The best way to be as though the best way to improve them. Ugh. I think the best way to improve my writing skills is to have an editor on staff at all times. Because I told you I'll say, yeah, the best way to improve my writing skills is to have an editor on hand at all times. Because I am just direct and blunt and they can say the nice words to not curse words or anything like that. But I'm just a blunt person. I'm very direct. So having an editor on hand that can soften the blow of my words is the best way for me to write.
Okay.
I think the best way is for me to just write. I write from my heart. I write the way I speak. And I think that's what helps me and help people to relate to me is I say the things that people want to say, but they were taught not to. And so the way for me to write, I write like I'm writing in my journal, and then I go back over it and correct things, and then I substitute words. So for me to write is from my heart and write just like I'm talking to someone.
Mm-hmm. Are there any books or authors that inspired you to become an author?
I used to I like journals a lot. TD Jakes had a 365-day journal, and I am currently writing a healing journal, and that inspired me. I used to read all the time books by Toni Morrison. I when I was younger, I liked books that told a story, but now I'm into more self-help and guidance books because there's a lot of people that are lost and they need
Yes.
some sort of direction, and you can't just take direction from any and everybody. I like researching your authors, learning somebody. So if you've experienced it and lived through it, then I'm definitely going to read your book because you're somebody that have lived it, other than somebody that went to school and did the research that way. So I think life stories are more important than, scholarly stories.
What has been your greatest accomplishment thus far in your literary career?
This book has been the interviews, and it's crazy because I'm nervous at every interview, even the ones that are on paper. I'm still nervous when they email me the questions. I'm like, oh God, let me pray first. And then I pray. I called like 4 people before you got on, and I was like, okay, I'm nervous. They're like, are you serious? I was like, yes. I think this book has been a real door opener for me. I met women that really encouraged me to do better with my nonprofit, to step my game up and to learn more. I've learned so much about how to, run my nonprofit than anything with this book. It's just really been a blessing to me in so many ways.
Okay. What are you currently working on right now?
I have a healing journal that's going to come out sometime this year. Um, and it's called, I forgot the name of it. That's horrible. Because I keep changing the name of it. Recover Your Royalty. And it's about teaching people how, when you go through trauma and different things in life, how to heal. And a lot of people, we don't heal. I'm fine. So my journal is about the principles. So far, I have 16. I thought I was going to have 12, and then God was like, nah, add this one. So God keeps adding chapters to it, principles to it. But right now, I'm at 16 principles, and hopefully it'll be out in the summertime. I'm excited about it. Really, really excited about it. Helping people recover their royalty.
Yes,
Sometimes we forget
yes.
that we were born kings and queens and we just settle for being peasants, and we got to recover our crowns at all times.
Amen. Amen. How can readers find you in the book?
Um, the book you can find on Shiro Publishing. You go to authors, and my name is Allison Bryant. You click on my name, and you can order it that way through PayPal. You can inbox, well, you can message me on Facebook. I'm Allison Bryant on Facebook,
Mhm,
or it's another way. Those are pretty much the only two ways. Like through Shiro Publishing, or you can
mhm,
contact
mhm.
me myself and order it directly through me.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add before we close?
No, I just want everybody to reach out to me, purchase the book. If you are thinking about starting a nonprofit, do it. There's
Mhm,
no, like, there's resources available. There's a group, one of the ladies in the book, Dr. Ronnie, she's created a page on Facebook called Blacks and Nonprofits. That group has been a blessing to me. It's everything in there on how to start a nonprofit, um, grants, you're creating your board, everything. But I really think everybody should just give back. It's such a blessing. It makes you feel better about yourself. It's just, I think everybody should just, even if you don't go into the 501c3 part of it, support your community in some type of way. Give back and heal yourself. I want everybody to just remember, heal yourself, forgive others, and just heal yourself.
Okay. And
It's
what's
good.
the name of that Facebook group again?
Blacks and nonprofits.
Blacks in Nonprofit. All righty. Well, thank you so much for coming in. But
Thank you
before
for having me.
before you go, would you like to play a little game with me?
Of course. I think I'm setting myself up.
Okay, it's my favorites. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Brown.
Favorite food?
Oh gosh. Shrimp right now.
Ooh, girl, yes.
I change weekly.
Your favorite snack while writing?
Caramel apples dipped in caramel.
Ooh,
Yes.
Arthur, and why?
You said my favorite author.
Uh-huh, and why?
Um, Self-help wise is TD Jakes, because his books are just there and he gives you scriptures and stuff to support it. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before I got into the self-help part of it, it was Toni Morrison, because I just love the way she writes. I love the way she thinks. Well, I loved her, the way she writes, and her books make you think and just feel feminine.
Yes, yes. And last, favorite pastime or hobby?
Currently, I'm on a weight loss journey, so my favorite pastime is walking on the beach or going to the beach. I'm a beach bum. I live in Florida, so it's always hot here. So
Oh, okay.
I'm at the beach like twice a week. So yeah, that's my favorite type time now, is getting back into nature, getting my feet in the sand and grounding myself, getting a
Okay.
close relationship with God.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Can we see your book one more time? And you said we can go to Shiro's Publishing?
Yes, is SHERO
Mhm.
publishing.com. And then it's going to be compilations or authors. And I'm Allison Bryant. And you'll see the book. Or you can come to my Facebook page, Allison Bryant, and you can message me. I have a post up about the book also. You can message me on Facebook.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. Happy reading. Bye, y'all.